welcome back to Eiersholt at long last. It's been a little while since I've made any videos, but we are back. I moved forward a little bit. In the last one we were still just seeding in here, but now we've got a bit of growth. We're into late spring, and as you can see down in the lower right hand corner there, our pH and our nitrogens are pretty perfect here on our canola field, along with others. It is actually already coming up to 8 o'clock in the evening on this late spring, but we're still busy. Just been in finishing some dinner there, and the farm is fairly similar to where I left it in the last episode in terms of machinery and everything like that. There is one new addition in terms of buildings, and it's right over here. I created a bit more space. I needed a bit more space for implements, so I cleared a little bit of trees here, and we put in this sort of multi-port here so I could put the fertilizer and the power in. We've got a planter sitting here that hasn't been out yet. That is our next job, probably in the next episode. We need to get corn in the ground as well. Got a little bit of space in here still, but there is a sprayer as well. So that has been out and given the first round of herbicides to some of the fields. But I'm not going to linger around for too much here on the farm. Any other new equipment we will see as it emerges. I think the main thing is in the hall there. I now have a pellet maker, and we've been making a little bit of pellets, so we'll have to sell those. But the main show for today, in a sort of perhaps slightly shorter startup episode here, is we're getting some grass silage in. I got the forage harvester going, and I put the sides on our rolling trailer here. Got another one up by the field, but we will take this one up, and then we'll get going on the last bit of the grass silage here. I hope we can get this finished off before it gets too dark, and then, as I mentioned, I think in the next episode, most likely the following day, we'll have to turn our attention to planting and getting maize in the ground. But as we are driving up here along our sort of previously made roads when I cut up the fields, so we've got canola over on that side and to the north. So we've got barley across the road there. This grass field here I did cut already and put into the pit, so we got a fair bit going on in there already. Sorry for the trees, it's a little bit narrow. So welcome, by the way. Sugar beets on the right, wheat on the left, and then we got alfalfa further down to the south. This was one massive field that I've split up into 3 sections now, but we've got to go a little bit further to get to the grass field. But as I mentioned, if you are a subscriber of the channel, thank you for hanging around while it's been a little bit quiet in terms of videos. If you're new to the channel, welcome along. I hope you enjoy some of the existing content or some of the new stuff that's going to come out now. But we are pretty much here. We already got one tractor queued up, so we'll pull in sort of slightly to the side here. Maybe just, we'll get into the 1050. I'll hop in the cab here. Let's wait for the lights to clear. Pull this one forward, and then just pull the class in behind so there's room. Maybe we'll get 2 more loads, and I reckon that is probably about it for the field. This is our first run of the New Holland forage harvester with a direct cutter sitting right out here in the field, ready to go. So I'm gonna get positioned, get the forage harvest started back up again. I do switch it off if I am doing a long run back to the farm, because this thing eats fuel like there's no tomorrow. So there's no point in just having it sitting idling in the field if you're going to be away for a little while. So we still got a decent amount of daylight here as we're rounding the first corner here. Just got to get out of the way of the forage harvester. Basically, it's the corner. Putting a few extra hours on the 1050 here. Machinery is still pretty new. We are down to 200,000 euros now. I think in the last episode we still had over 1 million, but with sheds and additional machinery, that has gone down pretty quickly. What did I buy in? I bought in the pellet maker. That was a kind of big investment in itself. And then I also bought in the sprayer and the tractor with care wheels, and that we're basically going to use more or less permanently just for the sprayer side of things. We also got a baler and a bale wagon to be able to handle that. So I went for the oops, that's me hopping around here. I went for the class quadrant square baler. I mainly use square bales. So I think equipment wise we are pretty much there now, so now we can finally kind of get on with the farming side of things. And I kind of wanted to jump ahead a little bit. To be honest, the seeding was pretty hard going because I play with the REA mod and the mud that comes in the fields with it. Then actually getting the seeding done was pretty tough going. We had a few rainy days, so I had very little time left to get seed in the ground towards mid-autumn before it was too late to put certain seeds in. And that did mean that some of the seeding ended up being done in the dark, to be honest. But now I need to keep up here. It's a good thing that the driver of the forage harvester at least is paying attention to what's going on while I'm talking here. But once again, we're on the way. There are some nice views down on this side of the map as well. I think it's really nice to, we did a lot up on the main farm, but now we are in a different part of the map, and I'm quite enjoying that. It almost feels like we're playing on a completely new map, except it is still Eiersholt, of course. So I have come across a few other people playing Eiersholt, really enjoying the map as well. There's a guy on Twitch, Charles today, who streams a lot of Eiersholt. So if you are following people on Twitch, I recommend going over and giving him a follow as well and see what he's up to. He mentioned he has more than 250 hours on his current save game. This one obviously doesn't have that many hours on it here. It is still relatively new, but if you add all the time that's gone in to work up to the machinery and everything that we got on this map, there's a lot of hours gone into Eiersholt by now. Of course, there has been an announcement on DataLund's Discord that there's no further versions of Eiersholt coming out for FS19, but there are plans to start developing an FS22 version once that becomes feasible. Obviously it takes a little while after the game comes out before everybody knows what's supported in terms of features on maps and stuff like that, so we'll have to wait and see a little bit. Right, why is he slowing down here? I'll get that sorted and then we can carry on. Still a little bit to go on the field here, but I made it through a good part of it. The biggest unknown right now is really about whether I'm going to be able to fit it all into the silage pit. These are different bunkers from the ones up on the main farm that I've been used to, that takes, close to 1 million liters. I think I got about 300,000 liters in it right now. This is an early cut of grass, and didn't really do anything to this field in terms of controlling the pH or anything like that. I need to look at that now that we've taken a cut here. But there we go. The lights have come on the forage harvest, so we're officially heading towards sunset. So it might start getting a little bit dark soon. One of the last things I have to think about actually is how the light situation is over at the silage pits. So as we work through this last bit, get 2 trailers filled up here, then we'll be able to head back, get those dumped in and leveled off. I've got a different front loader, or wheel loader from last time. I traded out the little class wheel loader with the larger New Holland one. I just didn't feel like that class one was really up to the jobs that I was going to be asking of it. So we probably lost a little bit of money on that account, but nothing sort of major. It's just going to be the last little bit going into the Fendt, and then we're going to swap straight over to the class trailer. Then we'll see how much is left at that point, but if there's more left, I'll basically be shutting down the forage harvester while we take those 2 loads down and get them into the pit. So that is the Fendt completely full, 45,000 liters of grass. Once you put those sides on the trailer, that nicely extends the capacity up to 45,000 liters. We're going to take those sides off again when we run grain, but it's nice to have a trailer that's kind of configurable, so we don't have to invest in completely separate trailers for everything. But for now, I'm just going to pull the 1050 in here, and then we are going to cross over, get into our Action 940 here, get another load, ready to go back to the farm. That is us pretty much there now. That is 100%. So I'm just gonna hop over and stop this machine, check the fuel level of it. It may actually be that. Still got quite a bit to go. So let's see here. Yeah, down to less than quarter of a tank. So we're just gonna stop the horseplay right now and switch off the engine here. And then, yeah, as you can see, the nitrogen is bad here, so we need to get some fertilizer sorted out for this field, because I think we will keep it as the grass field now. But now we can get back into the action. We can get our 2 trailers back over to the farm, get some more grass into our silage pit. So as we're coming in here, I'm just going to pull in through the first pit here, and we're going to have to see. We should still be able to pull up over this even with the full trailer, I reckon. Just going to check on our second guy. I think he was going a bit slower, but hopefully he's still coming. Oh yeah, he is coming out there. That's good. So obviously we'll have to level it off a little bit between the two loads, because as I dump on one side here, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the other tractor to come in over that. I might be able to squeeze it through on the other side, but I'm not 100% sure. We have the wheel loader sitting ready down here to come up and do some compaction. I'm kind of hoping that there isn't that much left out on the field now, so it'd be nice if we can just get the whole thing into one pit here. We've got plenty of grass in the dryer right now, so I was thinking this first load I wanted to make into silage. There we go. Now, now he's in a hurry. I better stop follow me there before he gets too far, because I actually want to be able to tip in there. I don't want him ending up getting stuck. That's first load about, so I'll hop over, make sure we haven't gotten the class stuck up here in the meantime. I think we should be fine. Maybe just back up a little bit and pull it over to the left here, as long as we don't end up slipping too much. From around there, I reckon we could start unloading. Now it doesn't matter too much if we get a little bit of a pile up, because we're managing to get this second trailer traveling through fine, and we can get that leveled off as well. I'm wondering if we should get some fuel out. I think we'll manage on the forage harvester. There isn't much left on the field, so I think we should be okay with quarter of a tank there. We do have a Thunder fuel trailer if we need it, but for now, let's see if we can stretch it a bit. So these two guys are ready to head back out into the field. I just want to show you our nice large wheel loader here as well. And just using the silage rake to kind of skim off the top in many ways. Put some flashes on as we're working here. So I'm not really trying to sort of make it super perfect, but just being able to pick up a bit and dump it over to one side or the other does tend to help a little bit as I drive up through here. Obviously have to head back over, take a bit off the side on the other side, but it's still a bit uneven. There's a risk of getting stuck here, so we'll pull back a little bit, focus on the next peak here, see if we can just skim a bit off, soften the peak a bit. Oh, I missed that completely, so we'll give that another go lower a bit more, grab a bit there, and then we come up over much easier, and then we can actually just sort of dump it down in front. And if I just bring up our help screen, we can see that our compaction is actually already at 100%. We're up to 442,000 liters of grass silage in here, so that's quite nice. Using the wheel loader to kind of just keep it leveled off and compacted as the loads come in does help a bit, rather than sort of spending hours on it at the end. It's going to be uneven here, so we'll see if we can fill in the road a bit here, so to speak. And this won't take long, and then we'll be back out in the field, picking up the last bit of grass, hopefully, and then our first cut of silage on the new farm is under our belt. So we're back for the next run, but I just realized I think Courseplay has switched over to doing straight lines right now, so it's gonna be a little bit awkward here for the first bit. Just trying to stay tucked in behind the forage harvester, and then now we've got to try and get out of the way instead. But should be okay. Yeah, you're in traffic. I know. Then we're gonna be heading back this way. Okay. Not quite sure how that course got laid out exactly this way, but we'll survive. It's not the end of the world. So we're starting to lose the light quite rapidly. Courseplay had a little fun, so it ended up taking a little bit longer. There is still a good patch left, but I am going to bring one more trailer load here from the class down to the silage pit, get that tipped in, and then before it goes completely dark we can get the silo bunkered up. That is a decent amount of silage for 1/4 of our overall capacity there, so I can't really complain about that. That is us full. Let us get back down to the farm. Of course the rest of the grass will get cut. I'll do that sort of off screen because I think it's gonna get too dark to get decent recordings of it anyway. But the rest of this grass will then go into the grass dryer, give us some more hay. That is fine too. We don't need it as much, but to be honest we have plenty of feed for the cattle for TMR. So I'm not too concerned, but it's better to stay on top of it obviously than it is to leave it until everything's empty. So although he's sitting ready, I'll just run this one straight back and we'll get it tipped into the pit. Okay, 487,000 litres. That's a pretty decent amount of silage from these couple of grass fields. I was a bit worried whether we were going to have enough, but we definitely are. So I'll hop into the wheel loader and we'll get it compacted down, and then that is one job done here in late spring. Sort of back to the video series, just easing myself into it a little bit. It's been a while. One thing I do want to try and do with these episodes is to find a slightly better balance between recording time and compression. I ended up making some very long videos, sort of generally running up to 45 minutes sometimes, and I think that's a little bit too long. So I'm going to try and keep these down, but a little bit more frequent instead. So generally speaking, I'll be aiming for still about sort of the 20-minute mark instead, perhaps. But then if I'm able to get more videos out on a more regular basis, I think overall that will be more enjoyable, both for everybody who watches, be able to follow more regularly, and also for me in terms of editing, because when you're trying to do sort of a marathon editing session of a 45-minute video, that can be quite draining and end up kind of delaying progress a bit as well. But it is nice to be back to be producing a little bit here. I hope you enjoy seeing the progress on the new farm here on Eiersholt. We will be making some pretty quick strides now. Next, it will be the maize going in the ground, although the ground temperatures aren't 100% perfect. They will get there. And we are 99% compacted already, so there we go. It isn't the prettiest and smoothest right now, but our first shot here, I'm okay with. Actually, there is a bit. Let's just clear up the lip over on the other side. There's it's quite a bit sticking out right there. I'll just see if I can get that lifted in so we don't end up with a sort of grass edge right there. Very easily, I need to catch a little bit more, but get this all the way up to the middle so we don't end up just kind of shuffling it around again and again in the same place. There's a little bit more to catch, definitely down there in this corner on our right hand side here. It looks like there's a little bit of a bleed into the wall. I don't know if that's going to be a problem. I hope it's not. We'll find out. It doesn't look too bad. Maybe it was just right on the corner there. Oh, now I'm dropping a bit out here on the ground. So let's see. Like that, and a little bit off the other side. If I can get that up on the rake. Tipped high up. Then we should be good. We'll close this pit up very, very shortly. Basically just drive over and down on the other side. Then compaction is back to 100%. I'll hop out. Get this silo blanketed like that. Excellent. So we got our wheel loaders, we got our silage wagons, got our tractors. It's got a little bit of work to do to get some grass in here. As you can see, we have 390,000 litres already sitting in here and 100,000 litres of hay. There is room, I think, for, I want to say 1 million litres in there, so I think we should be okay taking the last bits off the field now. But with a view of a class tractor, just got to head back out to the field. It's the end of our sort of first episode back after a bit of a break here from Eiersholt. So I hope you enjoyed being back on the farm. More to come shortly. Thank you very much for watching from Overcoat Gaming, and see you again soon.